All right, man. Welcome back to Make Your Mark NBA channel. It's your boy Mark here again. And today I'm coming through with another video to discuss who I believe, as of right now, should be the favorite to win the Most Improved Player of the Year award. I think the race this year to win the Most Improved Player is almost as competitive as the MVP race. Of course, there might not be quite as many legit candidates to have a real case to win, but I think there's a legit 3 candidates that you can make a case for could possibly win this award. And I don't think that we can truly determine who will for sure win until the very end of the season, because it's very competitive. And of course, this is an award that I like to pay attention to each season because I like to see the growth in certain players. I like to see players being able to improve their game each year. I also like to see players that are able to be put in different scenarios where they're able to showcase their game more so than they were able to do before, whether it be them getting more minutes on their team or being traded to another team and being put into a different role where they're able to shine more than they were on the team they were on prior. So I think there's about 3 legit candidates this year that you can make a case for thus far. So I'm going to give my take. I'm going to highlight all the candidates and show in all the areas they improved in. And then I'm going to give my take on who I think is most deserving. All right, so let's dive into it. So the first player I wanted to highlight is the star guard for the OKC Thunder, the 5th-year player out of Kentucky, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, who's having an outstanding season for his squad down there in OKC. And he's definitely a legit candidate this year to win Most Improved Player. Now, last season, he was a good player as well. He averaged 24 points per game, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists in the 56 games he played last year for OKC. All right, so now in this season, what's improved the most about him is his scoring. Not only has he upped his scoring to 30 points per game, but on top of that, he improved his shooting percentage from 45% to 49%. Also, his three-point percentage from 30% to 35%. And also his free throw percentage from 81% to 90% this year. So he's became a much more efficient player from last year to this year. Now, his overall stats outside of that, like his rebounds and assist numbers, they're roughly about the same. But like I stated, his scoring jumped up a lot by 6 points per game, and he's become a much more efficient player. Now, of course, the OKC Thunder, their record right now is 16-21. They have room for improvement. They're a young team. They're trying to, build that team up to get better year in and year out. Do I think they're going to make the playoffs this year? They may not, probably not, but that doesn't take away from the individual game that he's bringing to the table. And, of course, I think over time the Thunder will get better and eventually, maybe within the next couple years, possibly become a playoff team. That is a young team right now. But Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, went from a player last year who wasn't an all-star, even though he put up all-star caliber numbers. But this year, it's no question that he will be in the all-star game, or at least he should. There's some people that believe he should be starting. I wouldn't go as far as to say that just because of his team's record. But his individual season that he's having at the guard position is right up there with some of the better guards in the West, like a Ja Morant or, hell, even a Steph Curry to a degree. All right, he's having that kind of season. So he's the first candidate on this list that I wanted to highlight. So let's move on to the next one now. All right, man, so the next player I wanted to highlight is the 3rd-year star point guard out of Iowa State that now plays for the Indiana Pacers, that being Tyrese Halliburton. This is another player that's been able to take his game to the next level this season. He's been able to improve his game scoring and also with his facilitating as well. Last season, he was averaging about 15 points per game and 8 assists. And now this season, he's increased his scoring to 20 points per game and his assists to 10 a game, which is leading the entire NBA. And he's leading his team in both of those categories in points and assists. So he means a lot to his team. He's bringing a lot to the table for his team. The Indiana Pacers acquired him last year, midway through the season. Last year, the Pacers finished the season 25 and 57 this year, led by his performance that he's had night in and night out. He's been able to give the Pacers a realistic chance to make the playoffs this year. Currently, they're sitting at the 6th seed in the East at a record of 21 and 17. And he's another player that hopefully, most likely, will be appearing in his first All-Star game this year. I've heard some people even say that he deserves to be a starter, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not sure if I totally agree with that, but I can possibly see that, though. So he's another player that's having a standout, a breakout season, and he's arguably the best pure point guard in the league. Pure point guard. All right. So he's another candidate on this list. So let's get on to the next one. All right, so the third player that I believe is a legit candidate to win this award this year, in my opinion, is the 6-year star forward out of the University of Arizona, who formerly played for the Chicago Bulls. Last year played one season with Cleveland and was acquired this offseason through a trade by the Utah Jazz, that being Lauri Markkanen, whose game this year is levels above what we've seen from him in prior seasons, man. Honestly. I mean, this dude has been able to elevate his scoring from about 15 points per game last season to now this season averaging about 24 points per game. His rebounds from around 6 a game to this season, 8.5 points per game. His overall shooting percentage from 45 points per game to 53% overall this year. And his three-point shooting from 36% to 42%. So he's been able to increase his points per game by more than either of these other two candidates, and even improve his efficiency more than either of these other two candidates. Now, of course, Tyrese Halliburton, if I neglected to mention, his game, he already was an efficient player last season and even this season. He's been able to pretty much maintain his overall efficiency. That's one thing I will say about him. So, but if we were to compare these players in regards to who's actually improved the most, then honestly, if I had to really pick right now, I might say it would be Lauri Markkanen. Now, of course, the Jazz, they have room for improvement as well. They're 19 and 21 right now. They're outside of the playoffs. But, you know, once again, when we look at what he's been able to do as an individual player this year, it's undeniable, man. All right? This man is a highly efficient player this season. He was not that before. Not nowhere near on the level he is this year. He's been able to improve in the rebounding area as well. All right? And, of course, that's because he's been put in a position now where he's gaining more minutes on the floor. So he's been able to showcase his talents more. All right? But overall, these are the three candidates this year, as of right now, that have a legit shot at winning the Most Improved Player award. Now, you have other players on the outside looking in, that being, you know, Desmond Bane, Anthony Simons, guys like that. But they're on the outside looking in. I don't really think they have a legit shot, as of right now at least, to win this award. I think by the end of this season, you know how they have each award, usually they announce the three candidates. I think that for the Most Improved Player award, these will be the three candidates that have a case to win this award. So me personally, I might give the slight edge to Lauri Markkanen. I would lean towards him over SGA. You know, once again, the award is called Most Improved. He's improved his scoring and scoring efficiency more than Shea has done from last season to this season. And the fact that he's also improved in other areas like rebounding, I have to give credit to that. Now, once again, with Tyrese Halliburton, he did improve his scoring and assists per game average. But, you know, he increased his scoring by 5 points. Lauri Markkanen increased his scoring by 9 points, all right? And, of course, Tyrese Halliburton increased his assists per game by 2 assists. Lauri Markkanen has increased his rebounds per game by almost 3 rebounds. And, of course, as I stated before, Tyrese Halliburton didn't really improve his efficiency. It's not a knock on him. He already was efficient. But once again, we're factoring in what the award really means, Most Improved. And Lauri Markkanen's shooting percentage jumped again from 45% to 53% overall. So he's taken the biggest leap from last year to this year. And that's why I would lean towards him overall for getting Most Improved. Now, if you want to factor in team record and things like that, the impact the players having on their team, then yes, I can see the argument for Tyrese Halliburton. And of course, I can see an outside argument for SGA as well. That's why I stated these are the 3 legitimate candidates to have a chance to win the award this year. The rest of those players are on the outside looking in. But anyways, though, that's my breakdown of what I think. So you guys leave your comments. Tell me what you think about what I stated in regards to my opinion on who should win the award. And give me your take on who you think should win. You know, leave your comments. Give me a like on the video. And also, if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. We got more videos to come just like this. I appreciate all the support thus far from my followers. And all I can say again is all praise be to the Most High. Thank you again.